We are at the New York City Horror Film Festival, and we have the producer of.
The event surrounding a peeping Tom, Ryan James here. Hello.
So tell us, why did you want to produce this film?
I worked with one of my favorite actors of all time, Damien Maffei, from The Strangers Pray at Night, Haunt, Wrong Turn series, Black Eyed Susan. Check out any of those films if you want to have a good time. And we worked on a film together, and he was like, "Here's a script. Can you read it sometime soon?" And I was like, "Of course, yeah." And he's like, "Tonight? You're gonna read it tonight?" And he's very, very compelling, as an actor and a real life human being. And I was like, yes, absolutely. I would love to read this script. And I read the script, and it was so compelling that I did not even know how to visualize it. Like, I was just like, we got to we got to put together a team that has the vision for this. And it went off to the races from there. Yeah.
What were the major challenges that you faced? Because obviously it's an indie film, non-union. So what were the major challenges that you faced within this film?
I guess the film was probably had like a long journey. Like it tried to be made like 10 years prior, and also had the same challenges that you're talking about, like an indie that has like low budget, and how we're gonna find this, and the stipulations to make the movie. Sometimes you kind of, your integrity doesn't want to like make a movie. You want to feel comfortable when you jump on a set. So this was prior to me getting on there, and so with this one, it was very much, okay, well, then how are we going to get the money, and how are we going to find the people to make this? And it was like, okay, well, let's call in favors. Who did we just recently make movies with? And, thankfully we worked with a lot of the people that were on like the Terrifier series as well. And we were like, well, let's, this from people from this movie, and people from Joe Bob Briggs, and, people from the Strangers crew. And like, let's get together, and let's pretty much like hang out, make a movie. Let's have fun. And we got to shoot it in Connecticut. And, it's a psychological thriller that, again, there's no other movie like it. I can guarantee you, like when I pitch the movie, it's like there's psychological horror, there's like romance in it, it's fever dream, trippy, acid trip type, like Mandy movie. There's elements of comedy in it. It's one of those that you just have to like know you're going to go in for a ride, watch something new, and get in there and trust that it's going to take you on a journey, and just enjoy the ride.
And I believe you shot it, or you finished shooting it at 2021. Is that right?
2021, fall 2021. Yeah. So it was a pandemic movie, which was like, very tough, very different. You had to have like COVID compliance officer, you had to make sure everybody was safe. We're shooting with like a lot of fog as well. So much fog, like pumping into this every scene of the film to really get this ominous, like surreal, is this real, is this not type feel. And like, just like breathing in a lot of that with masks. It's like tough, like, and it's something you didn't really like plan for or train to do. But you kind of just roll with the punches, and you make it work. And yeah, so like, it's just one of those, like, again, even in post, right? Jan Michael Asada, who shot this movie, told me like one of my favorite things, which, it's one of those, like, you're calling in favors even for post. Like, you'll raise a lot of money for production, but for post production, it's like, why does this go so slow? Why is there not a lot of like money for this? Or why is nobody excited about the thing that sticks the landing? Because you make a movie 3 times, right? You make it when you write it, you make it when you shoot it, and then you make it again when you edit it, and you're releasing it. And so he told me, I think I'll never forget. I have so many Jan quotes that I just like keep in my memory bank. And it was just like, well, the problem is that post isn't sexy. Everybody wants to go out and make the movie and high five and be in their trailers and eat food and take the photos and post it online. But to actually edit the movie and stick the landing and put it all together, no one cares. They all go about their lives. They all go back to their day to day. They go on to the next project. But like, the post team is so incredible. And like, thankfully we had Dan Ballister, one of my best friends from film school, cut the movie, and he got to go like full on and like get into this, like create like a world that, again, I have so much vision for the things. I could not visualize a trippy fever dream type movie, because it's like, well, I got to have about 50 nightmares before I figure out what this movie's going to look like. And Jan just shot this incredible film with all these incredible techniques. And I'm just like, I don't even know where to begin with this. And thankfully, like, you bring other people that have this vision and this cohesion, and they get in there, and like, Jan ended up working in the post. Roger Hughes, our sound mixer. We had like incredible sound team internationally as well. Like, everybody just came in and worked together, and like, everybody's ideas were at the table, and you could pitch your idea and actually be heard. And like, again, like Hannah Fearman, like, cannot say enough credit about like, as a director coming in, but also in the post team as a producer, like picking us up on our backs when like our dead corpses are like dragging through the pandemic, like let's get this, let's call in favors, let's make this happen, and like everybody believing together that, I mean, like even like, like our actress Kate Kiddo and Damien Maffei, like these actors come in and they have a vision when we're so exhausted to not have a vision anymore, to like, what about this idea? Oh my gosh, you just sparked, like, we're gonna make this happen. So like you go through like peaks and valleys of like how to make a movie, especially one that it's tough to visualize and tell people like go out and see it. Like, what kind of movie is it? This is just, you got to trust me on this one. It's something you've never seen before, and if they don't have the vision, then like you can't get it done. But thankfully, we had a team that like everybody banded together and made the movie happen. And again, like being here at the premiere tonight, it was like so overwhelmingly positive, and everybody, we're still here like 99 minutes after, still talking about the movie and everybody's favorite parts. And I'm like, I didn't even think about that. Whoa, that connection, blah blah blah. So it's like it's been really great with that for sure.
What was the reason that you waited to release it now and not earlier?
I think also too, we really wanted to nail the look. This movie is very much, it has an homage to 70s horror. 70s horror is kind of a blind spot for me. And so we were looking, like playing around with different looks for the film. And again, like fever dream, surreal movie. If you don't nail the look of it, then you didn't nail the movie. You just put out a movie because you gave up and you didn't have any other better ideas. And within the last couple months before getting in, we ended up finding the 70s horror aesthetic. And again, like there's elements of grain, elements of halation and light, and just like that you don't. Again, it's a blind spot for me. I can't tell you, but I can tell you when I see it that that was the intention of the movie, and it feels right. When it feels right, it feels right, and it didn't feel right up until just most recently before this festival. And so this one in particular, like you don't want to just send it to the Rinky Dink Film Festival in Antarctica. No offense, Antarctica. We still want to play there. So any Antarctica Film Festivals, let us know. We're still coming. But like you want the premiere to feel right. And this movie was born and bred in New York, even though it was shot in Connecticut. A lot of the teams that worked on it all met in New York or from New York. And so when it came time, I've never been lucky enough to play New York City horror before. And the fact that we got to world premiere here, and like it was one of those like you submit it and we found out the next day we got in. It was like, oh my gosh, this is meant to be. And we don't even plan this. I didn't even know it was at the Look Dine-In Cinemas. Your movie's called Peeping Tom, and you're at the Look Dine-In Cinema. The thing writes itself. You know it's meant to be. So when it happens, it happens, and that's how it happens. When the movie's ready and wants to be done and wants to be seen, you go in and you have no regrets, because everybody sits there at the premiere and sometimes it's like, oh, I wish this could be better. Oh, I wish that blah blah blah. It was so fun making the movie, and then the ball got dropped in post production. Not in this case. Like we knew when it was right, it was right. You just have that gut feeling. So if you don't have that gut feeling, it's probably not right, you know? But when it is, it is. And that's what it was for this. And when we got to do it. So the timing is everything, you know? It's not always on your timing. So
Like with everything, I guess timing is everything. Like with everything.
yeah,
So,
for sure.
what are you planning to do next with this film? So, are there any other festivals that you're considering, or any other plans?
Yeah, I love film festivals so much. I actually prefer to do the festival route. I'm like the festival guy on the team. Where like I'm the one who's like, please, can we go and do at festivals and not just sell the movie? Because there is something about getting out here, especially for a movie, right? That like is different, and you want to figure out if it's hitting the right way. Is the runtime? Is it just right? Is it too short? Is it too long? What was your favorite scene? Who was your favorite character? I come from a background of like studio marketing. So my thing used to be I would be, hosting these like press screenings, and you do what's called word of mouth screenings, where they bring out like 200 people and they sit in there and they laugh at certain stuff and they cry at certain stuff and they yell at the screen at certain stuff. And I used to jot all that stuff down in the dark. And then after, when they would come out, I'd be like, okay, so any thoughts on the movie? What was your favorite character? What was your favorite? And I would send this off to the studio. And like this type of on the ground marketing, each person that comes out times that opinion by 1,000. And so like I very much believe in that word of mouth and getting the being boots on the ground at the ground floor. The first people that saw it were tonight, and getting their opinions as to what worked, what didn't. Thankfully, I haven't heard anything that didn't work yet. And so I'm like checking off all the boxes, because you have this dream, right? So you're like, I just want this movie. It's got the 70s horror. So you think it's 70s horror. For this movie in particular, it's very much like big 70s horror stuff, like or like what is it, Rosemary's Baby, right? So you're like, I remember being at the New Beverly, like Quentin Tarantino's theater in LA, and they played the trailer on like, I don't know, 16 millimeter, 35 millimeter, whatever. So this older trailer that's been sitting on a shelf somewhere for years. And I saw this movie come to life, like the light from the projector is like bringing this old, dusty, grainy footage to life. And I was like, that's kind of the look for this feel of this movie. And so when I saw that in our film, I was like, it's literally made for cinemas. You got to watch it on a big screen, and it can't just be in your neighbor's backyard. It has to be like in New York City, like downtown, in a really nice theater with really nice presentation. Thankfully, we got the Look Dine-In Cinemas taking care of us, and New York City Horror, and like it felt right. And then you watch that, and you're like, I hope that nailed the look. And the first, like, shout out James, who did a short film here, Eeny Meeny Miny Mo, and it's playing on Sunday. And the first thing he said was like, I love the look. It was like a movie that, I don't know, looks like it like came from 20 years ago, but it's brand new. And I literally like kicked in the air, like, oh my God, like it. You're the first person I've talked to who's like, this is what I really hope someone will connect with, and immediately told me that. And you're just like, again, you have the vision, and sometimes you don't even tell someone, and they like puppeteer it back to you. You're just like, you know that you were on the right track, and it validates itself. And again, like that timing wouldn't have been the case if we would have, put it out there with a different look. Look Dine in cinemas.
And what are you planning to do professionally next after this film?
So I guess the thought is like, at least after this film, at least for this film festival, I also didn't really like totally answer your last question. Like, we definitely want to do more film festivals and then want to distribute it. We'd love to do like even like a limited theatrical. After seeing this in a theater with everybody, we know that like this is something that audiences react to. I actually started standing in I saw so many people reacting and putting their hands over their face and like literally putting hands out like just like caught in the moment, that I just started like slightly like filming them, like zooming in on their reactions or like jumping. And I was like, oh, this scene I know is going to get a reaction. And I popped to the back and I would like film the audience reaction really quick. And that stuff's like really important too for like distribution and marketing. You think like Paranormal Activity, like when that movie came out, they would show like night vision, video of like of people reacting to it, or like, shout out Stephen Lamorte and Amy Schumacher Lamorte. Like they would go to like Comic Cons and film the audience watching their movie, which really helps in the distribution process. Like, these are audiences in real life reacting to this on a big screen. Let's get this movie on a big screen. So I really want to do that with that. Other than that, I'm also an actor. So like I've a new film that just came out that I acted in, Mutilator 2, and worked with a lot of the same similar people on this crew. Just came out. I play Zine in that film. It came out like a month or two ago. There's the Michael Jackson biopic. I don't know if I can totally break an NDA and tell you anything about that movie yet, but I was lucky enough to become SAG eligible working on that movie, Michael, which comes out April 24th. And we just released a new film, Cannibal Comedian. It's a horror comedy that I produced, edited, and acted in. That's through Cineverse, Screambox, Bloody Disgusting, and Scream Team Releasing. It's now on Blu-ray, and you can get it on Amazon. It's got we just directed a feature-length making of documentary about it called Blood, Sweat, Tears, and More Blood. It was the first feature comedy that I've done with the editor, Dan Ballister, who worked on our last few films, and Peeping Tom as well. So like, it's all 6 hours of bonus features on that film as well. And then we have a new film called Area 5150, which is like a sci-fi horror comedy that's coming out with some of the similar people as well. So it's like, I just love working with a lot of like great creatives, and I just love acting. I love playing in the sandbox. Everything that has to do with film, if I can help out in some way. And like when you get here and you start yapping a whole bunch, and you go, oh, and then you could do this, and then this scene you could blah blah blah. It's like when you feel that nature, that creative spell, like you just jump in full in. So yeah,
You're so busy. Oh my God, that's good. That's
I haven't
great.
slept in a bit. There's not a lot of sleep going on here, but it's okay because we're at the Look Dine-In Cinemas, not the Sleep Dine-In Cinemas. Okay, anyway, the puns for days. Yeah.
Last question. Can you tell us something about your bag, which I love?
My bag, my golden trash bag. I don't know. I don't want to be like, I'm golden trash, but like, I don't know. Maybe someone's trash is another man's treasure. Or lady, you never know. It's whoever's interested. There's probably some goodies in here. There's definitely some branded Mutilator 2 sunglasses as well. If you want to pick that up on there's a Mutilator 2 shop website. You can grab those at. Shout out to Buddy Cooper and the whole Mutilator team. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for speaking to me. Thank you.
Thank you. And check out our stuff. You can find me on IMDb, Ryan James, or on social media, Ryan James, or on Instagram is my main thing. Hollywood Gumby, at Hollywood Gumby, you can find me. Yeah, and a pleasure talking with you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Take care.